A solo segment.
Solo segment.
On microplastics in your penis.
It's been confirmed. Go, Luke, go.
Oh, my goodness. No, we're not talking about Michelle Obama. We're talking about something that I sent Jeremy here that I'm going to pull up here on my own computer here. And that is that, again, I've been warning about microplastics for a very long time here and alternatives, because as you just learned from the conversation we were having with Jeremy, a lot of people think, oh, yeah, I'll just take what the doctor says or what the media tells me, as, of course, you should try to deal with the root source of the problem that you have here. There's a lot of food that is just absolutely toxic, horrible for you, but also a lot of food that is just filled with plastics. Now, again, it's very hard to avoid plastics because it's literally freaking everywhere. You gotta, and again, no one will ever be perfect here, but I think having a point of view where you just try to do your best to try to avoid it as best as you can is the only thing you could really do. But microplastics are being found everywhere. They're being found in people's heads, in people's lungs, in people's blood, and now they're being found in your balls and your wiener, which is what Jeremy just pulled up there, saying microplastics detected in the human penis. Why does that matter? It matters a lot, especially in the testicles that produce your testosterone, that are the kind of hallmarker of your fertility and male health. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've been like hyper paranoid about my male health. My testosterone used to be below 600. And then I started to implement my own kind of protocols, my own kind of endeavors. And through the protocols and endeavors that I implemented, I was actually able to get it up to, 812 or 816, around 800, 200-point increase in testosterone, which is the key element, the key aspect of happiness, of your mental health, and of your physical health. Lots of people that usually have very severe illnesses have a very low sex hormones and very low vitamin D. Now, you can fix that naturally by just avoiding a lot of the nonsense. So when you go to the supermarket, a lot of people are like, yeah, plastic everywhere, plastic here, plastic that, plastic that. Try to avoid it as best as you can. Even some of the paper bags are being lined. Even some of the paper straws lined with plastic. It's freaking everywhere, especially in your cooking ware. Cooking ware is something that, of course, I changed also dramatically in my life. Any kind of woman in my life, I'm like, okay, well, we got to have the talk here. We got to have the talk here. All right. You want to make sure I don't have no little plastic wieners. People in the chat room are like, plastic wieners. Oh no, let's get into it. But yeah, this is I think a bigger conversation here beyond the plastic wieners that everyone specifically here wants to discuss here. You're back pretty quickly here, but let me just finish off my.
That tasted very bad.
Yeah, apple cider vinegar. You know what also is good to take? Olive oil. Olive oil is really good to take to help with digestion first thing in the morning, and it's actually good. Some new studies come out related to heart health and good fats. There's a lot of bad fats out there. There's a lot of good fats, specifically fish oil. Fish oil has been found to actually help regrow brain cells as well recently.
I take fish oil, yeah.
I have some fish oil too, and I've been taking it based on my blood test results, and I've been just telling people how I've been super paranoid about this, because you have to, and how I changed my cookware, and how I changed your cookware too, because you had all these plastic containers, and I'm like, what are you doing? You want to make sure you have cast iron, you want to make sure you have glass, you want to make sure that if you're using the air fryer, you're using the right fryer, not the plastic leaching one. And it's easy solutions. These things last longer. You want to make sure your cutting board isn't plastic. You want to make sure your utensils are wood. And then when you make sure of that, you want to make sure the products you're consuming are also good and not filled with crap. And that's why me and Jeremy launched our own tea, our microplastics-free tea on wearechange.shop that you could get now. And because again, this is my kind of train of thinking. I love tea, but it was always like, okay, get the tea bag. The tea bag unleashes huge amounts of microplastics in there, and that just goes into all of your system, creates infertility, creates all these like larger issues with your health here. So I was like, I want to consume tea, but it's very difficult to get without the microplastic bull crap in there. And this is our own version of our own loose leaf tea in a bag that doesn't leach microplastics, where you can have your tea and actually
without the microplastics,
without the microplastics, and actually enjoy it and enjoy a good product that is organic, that is natural, and isn't filled with all this other nonsense that you usually get at the store. So as a consumer, people are like, whoa, why is it so much? You know how much tea you get out of this bag? You get a lot of freaking tea.
You make
and
a lot.
What I like to do is I make a big container out of it, and then I add a little. I don't like nothing too sweet. All the drinks out there, I used to drink Snapples nonstop and Arizona green tea. I went from Snapple, which was okay. Snapple got rid of their glass bottles.
Yeah, that was the beginning of the end. When they went to the plastic bottles and you didn't get that when you opened it. Nah, I'm out.
Plus, the taste was different. You could taste the freaking plastic in there, and when they transport it, especially during the summer, things get really hot. Then they get really cold. The microplastic expands and shrinks, and then it leaches into your freaking drink. Horrible stuff for you. And I was like, okay, I'll do Arizona green teas. They're in the can. The cans are lined with plastics. Like you're screwed. And then plus high fructose corn syrup, and then a lot of people who don't even drink right now are dealing with liver failure because of all the artificial sugars out there. So what I like to do, I make a big jug of this thing, and then I put a little bit of maple syrup in there, or I change it up and I put a little bit of natural kind of organic honey in there. And bada bing, bada boom, I got my iced tea. That's actually legitimate. That's actually good. I have my own kind of glass containers. I take it on the road if I have to take it. And my life and my happiness and my overall health has increased ever since, of course, doing this. WeAreChange.shop. Get the teas, support independent media at the same time, and support everything that we're trying to do out here. WeAreChange.shop.
This says microplastics have been found in other parts of the human body as well. A February 17th study identified microplastics in a human placenta. Yep. All 62 placenta samples tested contain microplastics, 100% of them, with a concentration ratings from 6.5 all the way up to 790 micrograms per gram of tissue. That's bonkers. That's a lot of microplastics in there.
No, this is going to be the lead. This is going to be our modern new lead that our generation is going to have to deal with. And it's something that we hope RFK Jr. doesn't waffle on, that he actually looks into, because the health implications for a little bit of convenience is not worth the price.
No,
like your health is something that you never appreciate until you're actually sick. A lot of us are sick. A lot of us are messed up, don't even realize it, and all the doctors don't know. Oh, we don't know. Why are people, dealing with all these health?
Well, they're not testing for that stuff. They're like, well, soy's fine. Why would you eat a bunch of soy? Why would anybody care about that?
Yeah,
that seems fine.
Syrup. Let's get all the corn in there. Yeah. And then of course the monocropping is also just destroying and nuking all the minerals in our soil that prevents it from actually providing proper nutrition.
Yeah, we used to actually crop rotate.
Yeah, we used to actually have proper nutrition and proper mineral levels within our food, so we didn't have to supplement. But now I think we're at a stage where we need to supplement. Yeah. And if we don't supplement, you actually are depriving your body of essential nutrients that past generations used to have. Like people used to be so much healthier. They used to look so much better. They used to have so much more muscles. The level of heart disease that has skyrocketed has absolutely been insane. And we're getting worse off health-wise, and less people are drinking, less people are smoking, right?
Right, yeah.
Like back in the day, people would smoke on airplanes, right?
Yeah.
They would just, drink nonstop. And then those people were healthier than our modern generation of beta cuck soy boys that are dealing with low testosterone and fucking microplastic filled testicles. Right?
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. I'm not going to be a soy boy. I want to make sure I'm the strongest, best version of my fucking self. And I'm going to make sure I'm going to do that by making smart decisions.
Eat meat, lift heavy stuff.
Exactly.
Like you don't need, even though like my weight has been going down only slowly, it's still going down. But I can tell, you don't
want to do it rapidly. You don't want to shock your body, Jeremy. So if you shock your body, you're going to go back to where you were before.
Well, what I'm saying is
dedicated action, building up muscles, not caring about the fat, building up muscles is the secret here.
Well, what I was going to say is, I've been feeling better just by eating cleaner.
Yeah.
Like I can't say I feel any different with the glass, containers versus plastic, but I do feel better in like reducing the number of ingredients in the food I buy. Instead of buying Costco chicken tenders, I just make my own at home. It's
Yeah.
like I just buy the chicken breasts, slice them up. I can bread them if I want, and they don't have all that other crazy preservative stuff added. And it's like, you know, I fry them in the pan. I don't even deep fry them. I just cook them in a pan with a little oil, and little stuff like that. You know, little things.
No, it's absolutely critically important to pay attention to the soft kill weapons out there and the eugenics operation against you, because if you're not paying attention, if you're not paranoid about it, you're being destroyed by it. I have a question by one of your members here who says,
go ahead.
Who says, Luke, do you have a playlist or something for beginners on how to start being healthier and what to get rid of in our diets? I do a lot of those videos for my members. I just did a meditation video for my members specifically about that. But I think I'm going to do a master class, and maybe, you know, this is just an idea. Maybe I could come out there. I could dress up as a German from the 1930s. Film a video of me, you know, just like I did before, because it was very entertaining last time.
Going through the cabinets. What is this, son? What is this plastic?
Nine.
Yeah,
with the boots stomping too.
Yeah,
and you're like you're instead of you hiding Jewish people, you're hiding like seed oils underneath.
Yeah, that would be funny. Yeah,
no, I think we should film something like that. But I'm gonna do, I think, a master class about teaching people how to do this, just for my members on LukeUnfiltered.com, because I think this is the way. And I have like hundreds of videos on my members site specifically just talking about this, because you can't talk about this on YouTube. YouTube hates fucking health content, and they made sure to obliterate the health community. They destroyed them. They destroyed all the holistic healthcare people that used to have a very prominent voice on YouTube, and they were some of the first people to go. And that's why, you know, I would say that the big tech censorship is complicit in the destroying of our health here. That absolutely could have been saved if a lot of people were allowed to just have a voice on, you know, platforms.